Welcome back to the Crypto is Key conversation. We're going to have some updates in the Ripple versus SC case that we're going to run through. We're going to start with this one from James K. Fowle, and it says, Cryptillion payment systems and online digital wallet service for retail customers and commercial retail businesses using XRP asked to file an amicus brief supporting Ripple's opposition to the SEC's motion for summary judgment. So obviously you can see we have another opportunity for another amicus brief right here. So we already hit double digits at 10. Now we have more coming in. We have another one here that says Veridal LLC has filed a motion to file an amicus brief, propose a brief in Exhibit A. So he has it right here. Continuing on right here, says two attorneys file motions to appear pro Hag Vice so they can file a motion to file an amicus brief on behalf of Veridal LLC. So there we go. Got some more information right here. It says, this from James K. Fallon as well, says the SEC has filed a motion to extend the time to file all parties' reply briefs until November 30th, 2022, and asked the court to order that any additional amicus briefs be filed by November 11th, 2022. Ripple consents, new dates in motion. So obviously now we're hitting, if I come over here, Brad Garlinghouse says, for those keeping count, that's 12 amicus briefs submitted. It's unprecedented, I'm told, to have this happen at this stage. They each explain in their own unique way the irreparable harm the SEC will do to every facet of the U.S. crypto economy if it gets its way. So that's absolutely what we don't want. So at the beginning of the lawsuit, when Johnny Deaton said, hey, if you think this just is about Ripple and XRP, you're sadly mistaken. The verbiage and language that's been presented in this lawsuit that has been dropped on Ripple is going to have a quote unquote, and no pun intended, rippling effect on the entire industry. And it's been quite evident based on what's been happening over the past 2 years. So this is very profound that we have these 12 amicus briefs. You truly have a decentralized community coming together to fight the good fight, which is huge. So if I come down here real quick, it says, so November 30th, it says the time to file all parties' reply briefs until November 30th, 2022. And it says, any additional amicus briefs to be filed before or by November 11th. So obviously setting a deadline for, people that may be on the sideline and want to come in and file amicus briefs, set a deadline for that, which is good. And then obviously we have some new dates to kind of look forward to. So this is some huge stuff. Stuart Alderati, Ripple's general counsel, says a dozen independent voices, companies, developers, exchanges, public interest and trade associations, retail holders, all filing an SEC versus Ripple to explain how dangerously wrong the SEC is. The SEC's response: we need more time, not to listen or engage, but to blindly bulldoze on. So we talked about how that's been their tactic and strategy this entire time. Clearly, they don't have any true facts or strengths in their corner in regards of why they dropped the lawsuit in the first place. We're talking about, they're saying, XRP being sold on the secondary market as a security, XRP itself as a security. There was no fraud on behalf of, the executives within the company of Ripple. So it's just crazy how everything's been literally thrown back in their face. They're completely backed into a corner. They have no facts to defend themselves on. It's absolutely just sickening. But now you have a decentralized community truly standing up. And it's not just the class action lawsuit with Johnny Deaton or, the Freedom of Information Act request from Jason Foster and Empower Oversight. I mean, you have actual legitimate businesses that are in the blockchain and crypto space and that actually utilize XRP in their business to actually, operate their company so they can see hey, we utilize this. We're not anticipating any sort of, third party agreement with Ripple. There's no contract. This isn't a security. We utilize this as true use case and utility. And it's quite evident. It's crazy. Moving on here. This is from Arturo Portilla. It says, quote, an investigation into Gensler's handling of the collapse of the MFGH, a brokerage firm that went bankrupt in 2011, uncovered the use of his personal email. Gensler defended his actions, stating he did not know how to access the official email at home. So we covered a video, I want to say 2.5 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, where he was on video footage saying that, there wasn't some proper training and he didn't know how to do this or that. For a professor that taught at MIT, I mean, that's just a blanket statement lie. Who's really going to believe that? Anyways, more of this has been surfacing, and this was an article by Fox Business. It says Republicans probe SEC Chair Gensler over potential violation of federal transparency. Johnny Deaton says, people should be outraged. Gary Gensler was the youngest partner in Goldman Sachs history. He was a child prodigy. Recently, an article said the problem for him is he's always the smartest person in the room, but he can't access work email from home. And that's what I'm saying. I mean, I don't even need to see the article. When I first, read about this whole, personal emails and utilizing, they were talking about government officials utilizing third-party social media platforms to, message back and forth about work-related things. It's blatantly obvious that they're either hiding stuff and they don't want stuff to be seen. It's like, why, if you're doing anything in regards of your work being in government, knowing that you're supposed to be transparent, you're working for the people, what gives you the audacity or right to even do that if you're talking about anything work related? But this is the stuff we're dealing with. This is our SEC chairman that's supposed to be standing up for our rights as investors in the markets. It's crazy. This is from Santiago Velez. It says, Canadian crypto exchange becomes first to relist XRP. Hey, I had commented, and the snowball begins to roll downhill. So it's just, as time goes on, you're going to see the snowball grow. The rate of velocity of speed of it coming down the hill is just going to grow even more, especially once litigation's up in Ripple versus SEC case, and Ripple and XRP get the regulatory clarity it needs to move forward in the space in general. Shout out WeezyX, always putting up some great content. This is it says they call XRP a banker's coin, but Ethereum is partly owned by JP Morgan. And he says, what an idiot, at Ryan S. Adams. So despite the ending here, if you've been following this channel, you've been following the community, you're well aware of this isn't some unfounded speculation. This isn't some conspiracy theory. There's literally video footage, audio clips, articles, documents that verify all these things. We have the timeline for a reason. So I'm just going to play this, and it's going to trickle into a few more things that I'm going to cover really quick in regards of JP Morgan's involvement in the Ethereum ecosystem. Let's play this really quick.
But he made it very clear that they'd be happy if you hid your identity and use this to piece together a much larger holding. So this was basically a way for whales to disguise their purchases of Ethereum. And I'll link to this video, this audio recording, in the description notes below. But why is this important? Well, it's important because it means that Ethereum ownership is probably much more concentrated than people believe, simply because this shows that Lubin was telling whales how to get involved with Ethereum. Now, if you have concentrated ownership in a cryptocurrency that is moving to proof of stake, and I would suggest this is the main reason that Ethereum is moving to proof of stake. They don't really care about ESG concerns, the environmental concerns, but it's more a way of cementing the power of these original whales and insiders, because under a proof of stake system, a proof of stake consensus mechanism, the more coins, the more ETH you own, the more control you have over the protocol as a validator. Now, this is not true at all with Bitcoin's proof of work, which makes it a much more neutral cryptocurrency. Now, it's widely believed that Joe Lubin is also an ETH whale as well. Forbes a couple years ago reported that he owned between 5 and 10% of all the Ethereum in circulation. So this is who we're talking about. We're talking about a guy who was present at the beginning, who instructed other whales how to acquire large concentrated positions, and he himself still presumably owns a large concentrated position.
Which, I mean, it shouldn't be a surprise for any of us. It's not a surprise at all. Digital Asset Manager says it's crypto against the SEC and JP Morgan. That's the fact, Jack. Which, you know what, I'm going to comment while I'm recording right now with you guys, and I'm just going to put 100 emojis. So moving on here. This is from Digital Asset Investor as well. It says, these bankless HQ guys think BitBoy Crypto loses credibility by covering XRP, the banker's coin. They have no idea JP Morgan was working on Ethereum before the mainnet launch. So remember that. JP Morgan was working on Ethereum before the mainnet launch. They consider us fools when the crypto joke is totally on them. 95% of the industry has been fooled. So we all are well aware of the video footage that I'm getting ready to put up after this clip right here about the whole JP Morgan involvement from the beginning. before the launch of Ethereum ICO. So we're all aware of that. It's crazy that like there's still a crap ton of people within the industry that just fail to even remotely research and even look into the timeline that we have, whether they think it's foolery, unfounded speculation or not. Like, okay, look at it, right? And then do your own research and see what you come out with. Instead of just saying, oh, you know, XRP crap coin and Ripples and XRP and, you know, bankers, this and that. It's like, just look at the information and then, you know, for yourself, just know that it's not in dispute. And look at all the Amicus Brief filings that's been coming up. Look at SEC representatives talking against the SEC, you know, currently. We're talking about even on the ethical level. Look what's happening. It's crazy. Let's play this clip real quick. I just want to play a little bit of it.
I really want to lean into this is that like XRP to me is the banker's coin. Right. And it's also like got this like it used to be stronger, but it's got this like super big Twitter army. And so we have to be careful about when we make content about like, yes, a thumbnail doesn't really represent my beliefs. It's not investment advice. But BitBoy, you know it is.
I just wanted to play the part where he was talking about it being a banker's coin, but he was going into like, you know, we got to be careful about what we post as, you know, content creators. You know, we put up a thumbnail saying, you know, 589 XRP. That's going to get people to, you know, entice people to purchase or this or that. The point is there's a lot of, you know, when it comes to creating content in general, yeah, depending on what you put out, there is a lot of people out there that may listen to your content and just may purchase based off of your thumbnail. But hey, at the end of the day, you got to do the best you can as a content creator to understand that. But then again, with these platforms and these algorithms, you kind of got to play the game too at the same time. So at the end of the day, you do your best to educate the community as best you can. And they have to, you know, be adults themselves and educate themselves and make, you know, sound investment strategies on their own. And that's just how it is. But the whole, you know, banker's coin mantra, knowing kind of what's happening, JP Morgan being involved in Ethereum. Let's listen into this. Just this quick little segment right here. Let me go ahead and reset this. I don't know why I did that. It's the first time it's done that to me. Just trying to get it to load up real quick.
And develop and work. So our company Consensus has been very prominent since the start of the Ethereum ecosystem. I can attest that JP Morgan was there right from the start before public mainnet was even launched.
I mean, you heard it right there out of the horse's mouth. That's Joseph Lubin from Consensus, Ethereum co-founder. JP Morgan was there. Crazy. And on these last two things, here's from Tom Emmer. Tom Emmer says, Gary Gensler's track record at the SEC, and it says 1, 2, 3, fill in the blanks, and a bunch of people were putting in their stuff. Wheezy X says, immune, corrupt, Wall Street friends, embarrassing, corrupt disaster, nothing new here. Hiding corruption of SEC officials, regulation through enforcement, several on-the-clock meetings, contempt from average investors. In my opinion, just leave it blank from James Rule, which is awesome. Obviously, there's a lot of just a lot of negativity, hurt, anger, and frustration going towards the SEC. We're going to end on this one right here. This is from Watcher Guru. It says, Fidelity launching commission-free crypto trading for retail investors. Here we go. More access. That's all it is. But that's the update I have for you. Make sure you come to the Crypto is Key Conversation YouTube channel. Subscribe. Follow us on Twitter at Crypto is Key 1. I really appreciate your support, guys. With all that being said, stay strong out there. Be safe.